A 13-year secondary school student was said to have been shot dead by an owner of a school merely because the boy jumped into his fence. This happened in Imo State. Alright viewers, let's watch the video and see what you have to say about this trend.
Most heartbreaking stories I've come across this year, as a 13-year-old secondary school student was said to have been shot dead by an owner of a school merely because the boy jumped into his fence. On Monday the 17th of March 2025, some set of secondary school boys from Oba Development Secondary School, Owerri, was said to have been playing football. So I guess it was their break period. While they were playing football, their ball entered into the fence of a school owner identified as My Excellence Nursery and Primary School. So when the ball entered into the man's compound, I guess because it wasn't their school premises, the gate was locked. So the only way for them to retrieve their ball was going through the man's fence, which prompted one of the students into jumping into the man's fence. And on jumping into the man's compound, the boy met with the owner of the house and he started pleading with the man that, "I'm sorry, I only came to get our ball." I don't know what came over the man. I don't know if the man was okay, if he was intoxicated or something came over him. But it was said he shot this boy twice. After shooting him, he left him there. It wasn't clear, it wasn't stated who took the boy to the hospital, but it was said the boy was taken to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead on Friday the 21st of March 2025. Now this video you are watching, seeing these children protest and cry, this was the children vandalizing the man's school identified as My Excellence Nursery and Primary School. They were destroying the man's school, destroying his properties, and also destroying his car, because it was stated that the man's house is attached to his school. So after destroying some of the man's properties, they went to his house to destroy his car. At the time of recording this video, the man's identity wasn't stated, the victim's identity wasn't also stated, and at this point they said the man is at large. Probably he had received the information that the boy had already died, so he ran away. Now I have few questions to ask. First of all, how did this man get hold of a gun? What was he doing with a gun in his possession? And secondly, what could this little boy have done that will warrant you to shoot him? What did he do that will warrant you to shoot this little boy? Is it that you don't have children, or you are really, something is really wrong with your head, or you are insane? You pick up a gun and shoot a 13-year-old student because the boy entered to your fence. Let me just create an excuse for him. Let me just create an excuse that he was insane or he was intoxicated. Fine, you shot this boy while you were insane, and you did not see any need to take the boy to the hospital. You left the boy there. Was it that you shot the boy with the intention of killing him for ritual? Because I don't get, I'm not understanding. Nothing is sinking. Then for these little children vandalizing this property, I'm not in support of this their act. It wasn't safe even doing that, because somebody who can pick up a gun and shoot a 13-year-old merely because the boy entered his fence, what would he have done if he had seen these children destroying his properties? What if he had killed more students on seeing them destroying his property? I don't blame these little children, because if this country is functioning properly, I don't see why little children like this will develop the mentality or have the intentions of vandalizing properties at this age. Please and please, you that are watching this video, share this video to get to the police authorities. Share this video to get to Imo State authorities so they can do something about this, because this little boy needs justice. And this man, whose identity is unknown at the moment, needs to be brought to book. The owner of My Excellence Nursery and Primary School at Owerri needs to be brought to book for killing this 13-year-old boy. Please, people should look into it, conduct a thorough investigation, and bring justice to this little boy.
This is a very sad one. It's a very sad story, and we've heard the story of what the video. Let me give my guests the floor to air out your own opinion. But before we do that, there's a caller. We have a caller. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from? Okay, we've lost this caller. Maybe it's the network. Let me give my guests the floor to air out your own pain about this story you've just heard and the video you watched.
To me, it's a sad one, because seeing someone jumping over the fence to your compound, you don't know what happened. You don't know whether people are after him. And besides, he's a boy. He came to pick up on you. You should have called him, cautioned him, tell him not to repeat that, not taking his life.
All right, we have a caller. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, we are calling from From Taraba State.
All right. What's your name?
Mr. Daniel.
Mr. Daniel, please can you reduce the volume of your television so you can hear us properly?
Okay, I've done that.
Okay. So you've heard the story. What's your take? What's your opinion about this boy that just lost his life?
You know, truly the man himself, the man we are talking about is on serious to the people.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's really wanting to hurt people. And he's not, maybe he's not in his right sense.
Okay. For him to shoot a 13-year-old boy that went to pick a ball in his compound, definitely he's not in his right senses.
So let's see whether it's a ritual. He's a ritualist.
Okay.
Yeah, because if not a ritualist, how could he have done that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ritualist though?
But just the only thing is the parents, the child parents. No, it's very hurting.
He's so hurting. Yeah, man. He's so rest in perfect peace.
Amen. But we don't pray for that to happen again.
Amen. Well, thank you, Mr. Daniel. Have to have you on What's Trending. Continue watching What's Trending on Some TV. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, bye.
No, this story is really touching though. But and what the man did, and the man has his own school.
Yeah.
You know, he's a school owner also, and what he really did there is so terrifying and it's so uncalled for.
Okay, we have another caller. Hello. Good evening. What's your name and where you call it? This person, please.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we know the network is bad, but just as I was saying, the thing is, people should just be very careful. And what this guy did there was, he shot this boy twice. The guy ended up dying. Was it yesterday? I guess yes. The boy died yesterday morning because they are students playing football in maybe outside the school compound. So the ball fell into his compound. They met him.
All right, we have another. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, John.
All right, good evening, John. Where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm calling from Cross River State.
Okay. How's Cross River?
We are good.
All right, so you've heard the story, you've heard the trend. What's your own take about this?
From my take, I think that proprietor or whoever it is not insane.
Yeah.
And certainly there may be kind of rivalry already between those schools.
Yeah.
I think he must have been offended. Maybe the last school is doing better than his.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
And he would have had issues with the other school, and maybe he just took his anger on that little child.
Yeah.
I don't think that child should be dangerous to him. A child of 13 years should be a small child,
Exactly.
a young child, and cannot do harm. For him to go as far as using his gun on that child is beyond. That's not ritual. If it was ritual, perhaps he would have.
Yeah, the boy would have been alive. Wow. It's really not a ritual.
Okay. I think we've lost this.
If it was.
Does that mean the man doesn't have kids?
The man himself is
Yes,
nowhere
the
to be
problem
found now
is-
because he shot the boy and disappeared into thin air. That's why these students now take action into their hands. They went to the school, destroy his properties, break all those cars. You see glass there. They are angry, so they have to just take the matters into their hand because we are playing. It's like a sport day. They were just playing ball, and all of a sudden, their ball fell into the man's compound. To me, I feel just as this our caller said, I feel he's a rival with that school because he don't have much students because he's also a school owner. So you should imagine it's his own student
he should know
that
that.
jump into another man's compound.
Then the person shot him. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from? Please, can you reduce the volume of your television? Alright, viewers, we are behind schedule. Moving on to our next trend says. Alright, viewers, drop your comment what you think about this trend and your own opinion on this. We've come to at the end of today's episode on what's trending on Some TV, the pulse of the nation. Permit me to appreciate our producer and president of James Atta Emmanuel. You can follow us in line of other programs on Some TV. You can follow us on Facebook at Some TV, on YouTube at Some TV Live. Let me appreciate my guests for coming into the studio today. Thank you very much for having you, Lillian Yakubu. You look good today, and you're shining. Okay, by my right hand side, Tessie Stone in the building. It's nice to have you in the studio today.
Thank you so much.
You're also looking good as